everybody, and welcome to Southern Vermont College Baseball, talking about preseason, alongside head baseball coach David Gage and pitching coach Connor Murray. Coach Gage, let's start off with you. How close is this team to being as ready as you would like to have it at this point approaching the season?
Today, yesterday, or tomorrow?
All of the above.
Okay. You know, it's funny because some days we go in and we look great. We really do. And this team has worked really hard to get where we're at. But this team also has its inconsistencies. And I think as a coach, you never are happy with inconsistencies. And we just have to get better. We have to get more consistent. But I think we are where we need to be 6 days before our first game. I think in 6 days we can get a lot accomplished, and I think we'll be ready when we step on the field next Wednesday.
And Coach Gage is talking about the season opener when they visit Emerson College down in Boston next Wednesday for a doubleheader prior to them leaving on their spring training trip to Florida. Connor, what advantage do you have to being a coach of guys who you have played with over the last couple of years?
The true advantage I have was being able to play with them and now coaching them. I know exactly how they react to certain situations on two different standpoints. So as their coach, I know what to do and how to handle it now because I've been there as a player, and now I can be a role model, if you want to say, or just someone that is very understanding of the situation.
Dave, what kind of impact have you seen your two new assistants, Connor and assistant coach Robbie Heiser, making thus far? And how else do you envision them helping as the season progresses?
I couldn't ask for two better assistants. I mean, you got one assistant on one hand in Robbie, who played professionally in Italy. You know, he brings all the professional hitting instruction, hitting drills into our guys, and that's what our guys love. They love learning new things each day. And then on the other hand, pitching-wise, Connor's learned from a lot of professional coaches in the California Winter League this past, January, that the same thing as he's bringing back professional instruction to our guys. So I some days just sit in the stands and Connor take the pitchers, Robbie take the hitters, and there's nothing better than for me just to be able to manage and look at things and not necessarily have to coach because I have two great assistant coaches.
Connor, Dave mentioned the CWL. What did you learn while playing in the California Winter Developmental League in February that you'll be able to pass along to this year's Mountaineer pitching staff?
Well, the one thing I've been stressing to my pitching staff this season so far is how much pitching is a mental game. Obviously, you have to have the physical attributes to perform, but I'd say it's 40% physical, 60% mental. You really have to be focused in one pitch at a time, one play at a time, and just bear down. Dave,
what has been your biggest challenge as a first-year head coach, and what will be the biggest obstacle for you through the season?
So far, the biggest obstacle is to see we've made so many progressions, and it's great that we've made so many progressions, and it's tough to still say we need to go further. Because for some of our guys who in the past they're so much further ahead than they were, they look at it and say, well, we're better. Well, for me as a head coach, I say, well, that's not good enough. So how do we get better, from being now, let's say, above average instead of average? We want to be good, or we want to be great. So that's been the tough point so far, is to show these guys, hey, yeah, we're better, but we're still not where we need to be. And I think that goes back to my first answer to my first question, is the inconsistency. Every day we're good, but how do we get better from that? And the second part of your question, throughout the year, I think our toughest issue this year is we have a lot of depth. And a lot of coaches are like, well, that's not an issue. What are you talking about? When you got 15 guys who can play every single day, how do you keep every guy going? Because, baseball is a game where you get streaky, and if a guy's not playing once every 4 days, well, he's not going to get on a streak. He's not going to, he's got to be able to get at bats every now and again. So that's going to be the tough part as far as we go, but it's definitely not a bad thing to have that much depth.
Connor, a former Mountaineer yourself, what do you see as being the biggest difference between this team and the Mountaineers from a year ago?
Mountaineers a year ago. Team chemistry is a huge one. Even the new kids that came in, the freshmen that came in this year, or transfers that came in, everybody seems to get along on the same level. That's going to carry us really strong through the season. Everybody's just very comfortable with each other. Everybody's very supportive. I think that's probably the biggest difference between this year and last year.
Dave, what do you expect to take away from your trip to Florida in a little over a week now?
It's gonna be interesting because I think our level of competition varies very much down in Florida, and you go against some New England teams, which we, in our opinion, we have to take care of those games because at the end of the year, whether it's regionals and the NCAAs or whether it's ECACs, we want to qualify for that with a above 500 record in region. So those are going to be very important games. At the same time, we play some good competition out of region, like the College of Worcester, who was in the World Series a few years back in 2009, and they have guys that have won at that level, and we're going to go up against them and say, hey, how good are we? And I think that's a really good level to see. Is we have teams that we should beat. We have teams that are going to, if we play our best, we're going to beat them, and teams that it's going to take a really good game from us to win. So I think it's going to be a very good thing to see guys in full competition, because in the gym, guys can win spots, but can they do it in a game?
And finally, I'll throw this out to both of you. What all the Mountaineer fans are wanting to know: how is this team? What can the fans expect? What do you guys expect?
Let you talk about the pitching staff first.
I have very high expectations for my pitching staff, but as our team as well. Just come out and watch us play, and I have no doubt that we're going to put on some good games for you guys. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, we want as many fans out at our games as possible, our home games. We want to have a great atmosphere. And we know to have a better atmosphere, you got to win games. So that's our goal, is to win as many games as possible, have
Absolutely.
that home field advantage. But I think you're going to see a team that plays defense, a team that runs the bases well. And as long as our coaches are doing what they're supposed to do, the team that pitches, throws strikes, and a team that hits the baseball. But we'll definitely play a little bit of defense, and we'll have a fun product on the field.
Sounds good. Again, the Mountaineers start next Wednesday at Emerson College for a doubleheader, and then their home opener comes February 26th when they welcome Norwich University. Please stay tuned, as next we will have Dan Vardero, Corey B. Briggs, Chris Nicastro, and Quentin Scott joining us, members of the Mountaineers baseball team, just in a few short seconds. Gentlemen, thank you very much, and good luck this season.
Thank you, Mike.
We're back here with SVC 2013 baseball, talking about preseason. We're joined with Quentin Scott, Chris Nicastro, Dan Vardero, and Corey B. Briggs, not to be confused with Corey D. Briggs. Dan, I'd like to start it off with the senior. Who on the team has raised the most eyebrows during practice this preseason?
I think as a whole, I think everyone's really pushed each other to get better every day, and just everyone works hard every day. And you just see guys just work hard every day just because everyone wants to win that starting spot.
Quentin, what's the biggest difference you've experienced between preseasons at the high school and the collegiate level?
Well, in high school, we didn't really have much of a preseason. The pitchers and catchers, they just got a week to get their arms ready. And we didn't have a cage at my high school, so here we're in the cage every day, we're in the weight room every day. Just little things like fielding ground balls.
Corey, how excited is this team to get out and show what kind of culture the 2013 Mountaineers carry?
Well, we've been practicing a lot in the gym and lifting a lot, and we just want to get our chance to just go out and play some ball now.
Chris, as a second-year player, what improvements do you expect from yourself and the team from a year ago?
Well, I think the biggest thing is fielding percentage. Last year we had a really bad percentage, so we just got to work on making the plays, and offensively we know what we could hit, so pitchers got to throw strikes, we're going to back them up.
How different was this past fall in your current preseason to previous years you had at SVC?
Well, this fall and this spring we've really put an emphasis on our defense. Every day we're working at least half an hour to an hour just alone on defense. And our main goal is really just to not let any runs get in that don't deserve to get in. So mostly defense, and we do more drill work than we used to. We definitely run a lot more than we used to too.
Quentin, without playing a regular season game for Southern Vermont, how do you feel about this team's chemistry and what it will be able to accomplish over the season?
I honestly think we're going to be pretty good. I've never seen a game played in the NECC or like that, but just like the way we work together off the field and on the field, we just worked good together. Like we eat dinner together all the time. Like we always just hang out in each other's suites. I think it's gonna be good.
Corey, do you think this team is playing at its full potential right now? And if not, how long do you think it will take until they're there?
Well, right now, I think that we're pretty close to our full potential, but once we get outside and actually play some games, I think it would all come together.
Chris, how does the depth of this team help on a daily basis?
Well, at each position we have like 3 guys, so everyone pushes the next guy to get better, which is good. So if one guy can't do it, the next guy's going to do it. So just getting better by that.
I'll open this final question up to the whole group. Guys, what are your expectations? How do you think this team is going to do for the season?
Well, I think we all would like to win conference championship,
Absolutely.
first and foremost. But
Honestly.
just what coach says, just get better every day, continue to push people to get better, and I mean, I think we have the talent to go as far as our talent take us, which I think is conference championship. And
Very good, thank you guys. Again, the baseball team opens up at Emerson College next Wednesday, March 13th with a doubleheader before they head down to Fort Myers, Florida for their spring training trip. They then return for their home opener on March 27th against Norwich University, and they begin New England Collegiate Conference play March 29th and 30th at Newberry College. Gentlemen, thank you again for joining us, and good luck with your season.
thank you a lot.